Good morning. Welcome into the form. We do a deep dive into the weekend's racing, and we've got the listed Wanganui Guineas to look forward to. So that means in studio joining me is Leith Innes and Aidan Rodley. Good morning to you, Leith.
Hi Pip, how are you? And pretty good addition of the Wanganui Guineas this time around too. You know, like last year there was only 8 runners. Before that there was 7 runners. So a little bit of quality there, I thought.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a really good running of that race. Obviously, we've got a bit of rain coming in the next couple of days, so it's wet. But I did get out to Ellerslie this morning, Pip, so feel really energised. You know, you get out there, see them, you know, some good horses getting ready for the Group 1, Group 3 races next weekend. And yeah, there's so much to look forward to. But obviously, we've got some good meetings this weekend and some really good betting fields too.
Yeah, we really do. And of course, the feature is in the Central District. So that means I get to say hello to you, Bevan Sweeney, beaming in this week from Wellington.
Yeah, hello guys. Yeah, I agree. Wanganui, probably one of its better meetings in recent times, actually, across the program. I think the Guineas has come up nicely. I think there are some maiden races early on in the program where if you sit down and study them into the next week or so, you'll find plenty of winners. But overall, it's sort of the start of spring for me in the Central Districts with a good meeting out of the River City.
It really is. Well, let's have a look what is coming up at this time on the form, and we will be starting with that feature out of the River City. Of course, it is the listed Wanganui Guineas. We'll also be taking a look at the undercard there, a couple of nice open races as well. Heading down to Riccarton, we've got some good horses kicking off their campaigns, as well as a nice 3-year-old race to touch on there. On Sunday, on your Sunday sesh too, we look forward to the Pakuranga Hunt Cup and, of course, the hurdle. And as usual, we've got our normal segments to look forward to, including our best bets. So let's crack into it and we'll have a look at our feature first down to Wanganui. So that means, Bevan, weather and track wise, what are we kind of expecting and how do you think it'll be playing on Saturday?
Oh, what a place. First and foremost, what a place, the River City. Picture of greatness. Look, heavy 9 early, heavy 8 now, but look, they are forecasting a front to come through. So how much they get of that, it is coastal, it can miss, but they are forecast to get 15 mils of rain. So there won't be any improvement, you would imagine, off that heavy 8. Look, it'll be interesting because they've had their time off where they've done their yearly renovation on the track. So we haven't been at the River City after it was really a very intensive venue for the Central Districts with what was happening in other venues. So maybe we go back to that old pad and rail early, fresh ground, and then as the track cuts out a bit and we get into that Guineas race, they might just be scouting wider. But look, all in all, it won't be too bad on Saturday.
Yeah, so plenty of reasons to get out if you are in the area. Who says Ellerslie is the best place to be? As we take a look at the market for the feature, race number 5 on the program, the HS Dyke Wanganui Guineas at 3-year-old level, of course, over the 1,200 metres. And Sweens, as we get to you to talk about this market, I mean, very open there with the Platinum Diamond, who is at $4.80 and, of course, proven at black type.
Yeah, it is a good race, and Platinum Diamond is the benchmark. There's no doubt about that. Look, your draw probably is, by this time though, not against her. War Princess, if it does rain too much, worried there. Bonus Forza was very good at the trials recently. This is a nice race. It certainly is a nice race, boys, and I thought there was quite a bit of speed in it, and they'll be really shuffling for spots early.
Yeah, certainly. Obviously, it's going to come down to the heavy track. If it does rain on the day, they're going to be the inside draws are going to be a no-go zone. So I thought it was an easy race to actually map. I thought War Princess is probably the natural leader. Charmat from the outside gate, he's got a lot of ability. He's very green in his races, but he looks sort of, I thought they'd be positive. He looks the map sort of just outside the leader, and then you've got a Platinum Diamond sort of gets back from the draw. Landman sort of lands in that middle sort of bunch.
The one thing, I wondered whether they would be really positive with Faultless and maybe could kick up on the inside of War Princess. And I thought Bonus Forza could be somewhere near them as well, certainly in the first 4 or 5.
Yeah, and it just leaves Steezy in a little awkward spot, sort of midfield maybe as well. So, look, War Princess looks like the natural leader.
Okay, that's how the guys think they'll be setting up in the race. Now let's take you to some key form. And we take you back to Taupo here, where To Bravery Born and Faultless really fought this race out, Sweens, as opposed to Bravery Born probably gets in slightly better at the weights this time.
Yeah, he does, and this was a brave effort, but my gut feeling on the day that the girls' race was markedly stronger than this particular race. I thought he did a really good job to win this. There's not a heck of a lot of them. I think Faultless improves markedly, and then you've got to put into the fact that there's a swing back in the weights, boys. Good, honest horse who's done a really good job for Te Akau. I think Faultless is going the right way. Just my gut's telling me that maybe not on Saturday for To Bravery Born, Faultless going the right way.
Look, it was a okay race. I think the girls are obviously a little bit stronger. They've ran a little bit quicker in the girls' race as well. The market is interesting. Faultless is at 31s, opened at 46s. He only just went down a nose.
Yeah.
It was a good run. He needed to run a little bit. To Bravery Born, it was good to see him back in the winner's circle. He sort of maps to get a nice run. Both of them do. Look, they've both got a liking to the sort of wet track as well. And you got to remember, To Bravery Born won the 2-year-old race here last season.
I thought it was a key form line. I'm really surprised by that price on Faultless. There is a 3.5 kilogram swing that you mentioned, Pip, around To Bravery Born, and he is second up. He's won 3 of 6. He's a winner. I thought he was the benchmark horse in this race. The really heavy track might be unfinding, but you know, he went all right at Taupo in conditions like that.
Yeah, he really did. So let's hear what his trainer thinks. Maybe those prices will be shortening in. Let's hear from Sam Burgesson and Peter Mackay.
Yeah, he's come through really well. It was a really good effort on a bit of a testing track, but that stripped him a lot fitter. I think he's bounced through it well. He had a relatively quiet week, but worked nicely here on the course proper yesterday. So goes down in good order. It looks like they're going to get a bit of rain, which we think he can handle. And he actually won this meeting last year. He won the first 2-year-old race of the year. So hopefully lightning can strike again. But yeah, he goes down in good order, albeit it has come up quite a strong field.
Well, yeah, I thought it was a really good run. We were going to take a sit, and then after looking at the field, we thought there's going to be no speed, so he's gone forward and led. So he's still a bit of a sit and duck. When it was good, but I think if he come to us probably midway up straight, I think we would have actually held him off.
Yeah. Progress since being to your liking?
Yeah, he has been. Yeah, no, Sean said he's improved a lot since that run, and then he galloped out on the grass yesterday. Must have come and rode him, and he was very pleased with what he felt.
Based on Peter's thoughts there, Leith, wouldn't be surprised if he does shorten in from that big odds Faultless.
Yeah, well, the market, I a little bit surprised when he was 46 and $9 a place. He maps to get a nice run in the race. Obviously, the heavy track's going to be, I don't know, maybe a little bit against him, but yeah, I think both of them deserve to be in the market, and the market has got it wrong, I thought.
Yeah, he's a good quality horse, and he showed that as a 2-year-old too.
He did. Okay, well, let's take you now to another form reference, this time from the trials. We'll take you to the Central Districts here. War Princess does beat home. An eye-catching country salon here, I thought, Queens.
Yeah, look, this is a sharp horse, and she's very, very comfortable sitting on speed, War Princess, and she will find a good kick, and she's pretty slick. The 2 Given Sherrick horses put up great 2-year-old preparations, clearly. On the evidence of what I saw across their seasons and this trial, I actually prefer Daylight Robbery going forward, but Country Salon might be the one for this particular race. But I think, boys, I'm not sure if you agree, but if there's a lot of rain around, I'm not sure that suits War Princess, especially as we're getting this race into race number 5. I think she's pretty quick. She's got that daisy cutter action. I think she needs better ground than maybe she will get on Saturday, but certainly a really nice horse that Did's going forward.
Look, I know Dids is really happy with her. Look, obviously she has won on a soft track at Wanganui before, and that's when she sort of led on the inside on the rails. So, look, I'd probably want a better track, like you said, for her. Look, Country Salon, you know what you're going to get. He's going to handle that wet track, and he has gone good at Wanganui before as well, Rod?
Absolutely. It's a good trial, and obviously the 2 Sherrick runners are both bringing okay form. Even Daylight Robbery from that first preparation showed really good ability. You'd think the whole lot of them would improve out of that trial as well. But yeah, the winner, War Princess, she's got a bit of speed, so yeah, whether that's diluted on this really heavy track, well, we're expecting a really heavy track. Who knows?
Well, a horse that has performed on a heavy is your favourite. Let's take you to Platinum Diamond. Not only has he won the Castletown Stakes, but then, of course, he took out the rider here, Sweens. And look, it was a very smart ride, I think, too, from Bruno.
Yeah, look, they've got a good connection now. They've had 3 from 3. Look, she's going to get back a little bit, but I think the draw probably comes into play now for her.
Yeah, absolutely. But what she's been doing has been top-notch. Castletown Stakes, Rider Stakes, those last 3 runs have all been really, really good. She's proven in this type of going, so there's no knock on her. I thought she was one of the main, you know, the big contributors to this race, and I thought a winning chance for sure.
I thought she's the benchmark. I disagree with you, but I think here's your benchmark horse in this particular race. She's been outstanding. She'll handle off-track conditions. That win last start, she had to come back to the inside, which is a place where you just didn't want to go. It was an absolute nightmare down there. It was a nice ride on the best filly in the race, and she should have won by quite a little bit more. She's actually won with a lot of ease in the last couple of starts. She's had a freshen up in her legs. I think the draw will suit. Bruno's flying. I think she's clearly the one to beat. And I do agree with you boys around prices in this race, because I was blown away when Riccarton came up at that sort of quote as well. This is a very, very smart gelding as well, who's been going really, really nice races. We'll get back, but don't count it out. There's a couple of really interesting prices in the Guineas.
And I think that just shows the depth of this race, because the horse that's actually on the race form cover is Matt this week, who we haven't spoken about yet. Leith, can he win the race?
He definitely can. Look, he's got a liking for the heavy track as well. Best thing about him, he was quite green in his first race at Rotorua, and he's got a noseband on this week, so he had his mouth open.
Yeah.
He was doing a few things wrong, but he's definitely a top 4 chance for sure.
Well, that was one thing that we spoke to Stephen Marsh about earlier this week, is that they're using that to just combat. Hopefully, he's just a lot easier to control down the straight. He showed any amount of ability, but it is raw ability. So the progress, he's gone on okay. He's a contender for sure.
Okay, Sweens, would you have him in there anywhere?
Oh, absolutely. But I think what the boys just said there, top 4 chance, I think it's pretty hard to count out many horses with the opportunity to run in top 4 here and get a little bit of black type when you go through this particular field. Like with the right run, you'd think Landman showed us enough. Matt was very, very good, but they're both a bit raw compared to a couple of horses in here, which is a bit of a key when you go back through the history of this race, just coming into it. Yeah, I don't think there's much out of this race that you couldn't see run top 3, top 4 with a little bit of luck. So it's pretty even across the board.
Look, it's a pretty strong field. It's going to come down to how the track plays. Look, if they're on the inside or sort of in the middle of the track, I'm on War Princess. But if they're hard on the outside by this time of the day, I've got to change the Platinum Diamond. But look, I think War Princess has come up very strong this year, so I'm more fair just.
Okay.
I'm going to go to Bravery Born. We saw his ability last year. We saw him running 4th in a Karaka Million, and he showed with his first up run on a wet track at Taupo, he can handle the conditions. And I thought his price was excellent. So I was with Bravery Born.
Okay, everybody different in the Wanganui Guineas, and that will take us to a break. As we head to one, stick around, we'll take you to some winners from last year's meeting. Welcome back into the form. It is time for our Black Bookers, and as always, Leith, we start with you. Who have you got for us?
Look, we all know race 1. There was a strong maiden race at Te Rapa. Look, obviously, Quantum Legend won, and he won how he should. There is a chance that he might have a flight ticket booked to Hong Kong, so we're not sure yet. All the trainers in New Zealand will be hoping he's booking his ticket to Hong Kong, but there are some good runs in the race. But Shoma was ran second. It was the second fastest sectional of the day. Sterling Express was the best, and he won a Group 2 race. Mazette was really good there. And Magic Carpet, I think just keep an eye on those 3 horses. They won't be a maiden for very long, that's for sure.
There were some super runs in the race, and I can confirm that the winner is off to Hong Kong. Tony Pite confirmed that to us on camera this morning as well. I'm going for an obvious one. It's out of the Group 2 race, and you're saying, oh, Black Book a Group 2 winner. But this was some sort of performance. Now, this horse has run 6 lengths faster for the last 800 than any other horse in the race, has gone sub 46 sectionals. Each of the last 200 metres is sub 11.5. Absolute top draw performance. He's a competitor in the Group 1. Tell you what, if he was with Tiakia, what price would he be then?
Exactly.
A-Rod, Blind Freddy could have found that. Time after time. Flashing home out wide, with all due respect to be fair, but a prick of a beer. Time after time out wide for Kevin Myers. Look, he runs again on Saturday at Wanganui. Think he's a good price and a much more competitive race.
Yeah, shots fired there, Sweens. I'm sticking with a Kevin Myers runner as well with Billy here. Just, you know, went into the inside, went the outside, took a little bit to wind up. I thought it was unlucky in behind toe rope. Probably just slightly better right. I think maybe would have got up in this race. So I'm going to stick with Billy to go one better next time for Katie Myers. Let's have a look at a summary of what we are liking for our black bookers. Quantum Legend, as we heard, but mainly that 3-year-old race out of Te Rapa for Leith. Sterling Express for Aidan.
Well, obviously,
You forgot about Le Creek. Like Le Creek, you've been going on about
Okay.
Le Creek for 2 weeks now, and now you've jumped and you're going
I'm
Sterling
not jumping
Express.
from the show. I'm just saying it was a run that now says it potentially, because we know it's going to Group 1. So Bevan's saying, you know, Blythe and Freddie could have found it. So Bevan, are you on it in the Prazia Plate since you've found it as well?
Oh.
Oh, I didn't find it. You found it.
You
I
said
just
Blythe
said
and
anyone
Freddie
could
could have
find
found it, so
Look,
you
I don't-
found it as well.
I think everyone at home has written their horse down after Saturday. Like, you know. Oh, you're right. It goes great. It's a fantastic horse, and we'll run a big race come the next feature meeting next Saturday.
Whether it can win or not, we don't know. But as a price, it's going to be paying
He
a
was
decent
61s
price.
before he won the Foxbridge, and I think it's good for the Foxbridge Plate for a horse to come out and win like he did, because it wasn't an overly strong field, as we mentioned.
Yeah, well, I heard that Leith Innes might have had a little place ticket on Sterling Express on the radio going up to the races on Saturday, and I think there was a happy man. Maybe
$7.25 was quite good in the futures, though, Bevan, so I was happy.
I thought that the win price might be quite good, but interesting.
Yes, there was no dust coming out of Leith's wallet anyway off the back of that. So now from there we're going to take you back to Wanganui. Have a look at the undercard here, and there's some really good races to touch on. We'll start with race number 7, the Wanganui Taranaki Racehorse Owner Association, where Uranui is the favourite at 380, Bozo at 480. Any value in this market for you, Sweens?
Not really. Uranui's tough as Bozo definitely can. Power Jack loves the place. Pride of Aspen going well. Trav's going really, really well from what I've seen at the trials. But there's big fish to fry for Trav and Wolfgang. Just wouldn't be a surprise. But I think the market's about right, lads.
Yeah, look, I thought, like you said, Trav trialled up really super at Boxton. Look, Peter Mackay's got a big hand in the race. He's got horses running fresh up. He's got Wolfgang from Barrier 1. Saginto probably maps to sort of sit outside the leader. Look, are they there to win this week? Maybe not. They probably need a run. But Power Jack gets a pretty uncontested lead.
Yeah, what about Pride of Aspen? Because they could be positive if they wanted to from, you know, a wider gate.
Yeah, look, it's going to, depending what the track's going to play like late in the day, but yeah, I thought Pride of Aspen, she's hard fit at the moment. Bozo's fit as well.
Okay, well, let's have a look at one you have got mapped there, and that is Uranui. So we'll take you back to last time out here, and this was a really good performance as well from a runner, and hit the line pretty strong. Yeah,
it was a strong field as well. It was a good positive ride. She's sort of mapped to sort of be right up there on the speed. Heavy 10's going to suit. Liked Wanganui as well, so definitely a top 3 chance, I thought.
This is a really good race too, wasn't it, the Interprovincial? So the form out of it should stack up really nicely. I think the key form line in Uranui's line here is the run against Pride of Aspen from a couple of starts back. When Pride of Aspen was winning, Uranui was second. There was only, 3/4 of a length between them, and there's a kilogram and a half swing towards Uranui. I couldn't split that pair. I thought they were very tight, and you know, it's you know, throw the balls up and which one comes down between them.
52.5 with Jim on as well. So look, 4th up, due a win. Probably should be favourite, like you said.
No, I just split them with my guts, and I've just loved Uranui over a period of time, and was keen enough to go again with Uranui. Just a tough horse. Pride of Aspen probably has a better turn of foot than Uranui, but I think it's Uranui's day. It'll be fit as a fiddle come Saturday. And that little bit of a swing in the weights, I agree, Aidan, should be a major factor in the race.
So I'm going to take you to Bozo first, and this was a very good run down on Grand National Day.
It was. You don't get it much wetter than this, do you? And look, she was really good. Look, it was a tough run. Kevin Miles has got her home. Look, you know she's going to be super fit. But one thing I would say, she hasn't won at Wanganui before, but you know, if they're getting down that outside fence by this time of the day, I thought 54 kilos, she's got to be a top 3 chance.
Yeah, she's obviously got ability. There's no question about that, but I just can't catch her. I've never been able to.
I think if she got hard to the outside fence, then she may have, maybe run second, maybe giving the winner a little bit of a head for it. It might have been a bit more closer than you thought if you got right out hard on the fence.
No, she's a good mare, and she really loves wet ground. She's a real wet tracker, Bozo, which is a bit surprising. A few of your runs have been a little bit disappointing at Wanganui, and my wallet has reflected that. However, when she gets it right, she's very, very good. I know Kevin's has always had a massive opinion of Bozo, so I agree. That seems to be the biggest danger, but I'll stick with my old favourite, Wanganui, who hasn't let me down this season, and I think is primed to be winning on Saturday with a very lightweight in one of the features.
Yeah, I was on course last year when Bozo ran in, I think it was a mile race, and Kevin told me that she'll be winning today, and she was still running home. So I reckon he might have just got his years mixed up. So I reckon this is the year. It was this race that he was telling me.
Yeah, absolutely, that'll be it. I wrote down 5, 6, and then I went down and scribbled 6 out and put the 6 in front. So in the end, I've gone Uranui on top, but I don't think there's much between the 6 and the 5.
Okay, there you go. Heard it here first. As we now take you to race number 4, this one is the open over the 1,200 metres, where Cosentino is coming from the synthetic back to the grass at 3.10, Mary Shan at 3.70, and then Faravello at $5.50. So again, these two fighting it out, Sweens, and they bring in completely different form lines in the market.
Oh, this is a niggle, this race, because what do you do with Cosentino? Beat home Larsa on the synthetic last time, and a track record, and Larsa was brilliant up at Te Rapa the other day. Lots of speed though, they'll be going quick here early, lads.
Yeah, plenty of speed in this race. There could be up to 4 or 5 litres. I thought Caitlin's Wish, she's won a race like this similar last year on a really heavy track. Yeah. She swims down there. Cosentino, Bold Bell, Amend. There is so much speed, and look, Tavi's caught on the inside. I thought it was an easy race to map.
Oh, yeah, exactly. It's just going to be which riders are going to actually take a hold, because they can't all be there. Some of them are just going to have to take a sit and hopefully get a run behind them.
I think it really sits up for a horse off the speed like Mary Shan.
Yeah, it could be going like cut cats and suit her, and we saw that from her in this recent trial that we're going to take you to as our first form reference, and she was really impressive here, Sweens, and I see the blinkers are off.
Well, my impression of this trial is they really wanted her ready for her fresh up run. They really gave her a very, very strong hit out. And we know her quality, but when you sort of assess this trial with other runners in this particular trial, she was the one here to really get her ready to go fresh up. So, look, there's a lot of speed, as Leith mentioned, and like if there is going to be a late closer, Mary Shan is a horse with a fair bit of quality. But my impression of that trial, lads, is that they really wanted Mary Shan ready to go fresh.
Yeah, they did. Well, let's hear what stable representative Joe Walker has to say about her chances.
She's going really well. We couldn't be happier with her at the moment. Obviously 6 furlongs at the sharper end of her range, but I think the fact that we'll get a wet track probably mitigates that somewhat, but she's going really well.
Obviously she formed in the best of company last preparation. What's she come back like as an older mare now?
Really good. She's strengthened up nicely. I think the break did her the world of good, as it often does. As you say, a little bit older now. She looks great, really, and we couldn't be happy with how she's trialled.
Well, that's what you want to hear from Jo if you're backing into her.
Really, and she's had those 2 trials now, so as Bevan said, they are looking to have her, I remember as a 3-year-old, she was such a good 3-year-old as well.
She had a few hard runs. They took her to Australia. She had a Brisbane campaign. Yeah. She had a really hard sort of campaign as a 3-year-old, and she's come back last year and she's racing some pretty good fields.
Well, she's run second to Orchestral in an Aotearoa Classic. It's pretty good form, so we know that she's got a really high bar.
Yeah, really does. Well, what about Cosentino as well, as you said, taking out the Poly Championships, beats Lhasa as well, Sweens. To the grass, though, do you think he can do it?
Well, not overly well. Bruno rode Cosentino like he stole it on this day. He just fired out of the gates, gave it no breather. It was taking a massive step up and trip, and I thought, it's got to stop this horse. It did not. And as you know, the form stacks up behind it. I think this horse can take a sit. They just fired out of the gates because he was drawn wide on the synthetic at Awapuni, which really you have to be close to speed in a race like this when there's big money up. So I actually think this horse can take a sit. I think Bruno's riding nicely enough. Yes, there is a big niggle about how this transfers across to the grass, but I'm not too worried about Cosentino. The heavy track is probably the grass is no worries on better ground. The wet track conditions maybe, but he just did too much to my eye last start to be not afforded a massive chance. I just don't think you should be able to run a record when you're taking a decent sort of step up and trip, and you did so much work early, lads. It just said to me that this horse has got above average ability.
You summed it up. He's ran a track record, and now you're going to be playing on a heavy 10.
Yeah.
I can't have him, sorry. Look, Bruno from the outside gate, he cleaned about 3 or 4 of them up after the first 50 metres. But look, they'll know he's there. He's going to be on speed. I just think the way the race is going to pan out just maps so good for Mary Shan. She's had one start on a heavy track, and that was at Pokakoe, and she absolutely killed him that day.
And we're going to find out a little bit about how that polyform goes across. Obviously, with last week it was good, but it was a better track, wasn't it?
He's in the right stables.
Yeah,
Stephen Gray.
We're going to find out
He's a very good trainer, as we know, in Singapore. He could do it in Singapore, race on the poly, and then they race on the grass as well.
Yeah, as Mark Walker could with Singapore and his, Stony Brook. We'll talk about that later on as well. This horse only won a maiden on the turf, so it is a big step up. I was prepared to be with the Burgesson horses here, with Burgesson horses, Roydens. Faravello, really good last time. I know he hasn't been winning with those last few, but a very good heavy track record. Won at Wanganui on Muriel Mile Day last year, so from a good draw, Faravello I thought was a good contender at a nice price.
Okay, and at a nice price, absolutely. That wraps up Whanganui. Make sure you tune in to Big Saturday from 11 a.m. as we take you now to our trial files. So make sure you note these ones down. Get the binos out again. Leith, who have you got for us?
Te Meru on Tuesday, Pip, solid gold. Look, this is a full sister to Major Beale, who won the Australian Derby for Gay Waterhouse about 3 years ago, I think it was. Look, she's nearly 17 hands high, this homebred horse by Waikato Stud. They own her. They've got another good one on her hands. Like, they just don't trial up like this. I know she had a quiet trial at Avondale, but look, there's a chance she could be racing at Matamata in a couple of weeks, or Turapa, or maybe Taupo. But just keep an eye on her, and I'd love to be the futures market for the New Zealand Oaks, Rod?
Yeah, geez, there's been some good trials lately. Terrific day at Ashburton. I'm just going to point you to this one, Miss Siggy. She does go around on Saturday, which I hadn't been aware of when I did this. So she's obviously a horse who's run third in the Karaka Million, beaten home horses like Landlocked to Bravery Born, who's in the Wanganui Guineas, horses like, Too Sweet, who's an Eclipse Stakes winner. She's still a maiden. So, even if she doesn't win this weekend, and I guess they will follow the path through Canterbury Bell and
hopefully
things.
Hopefully you're picking her in your picks later on.
Actually, I haven't. So there you go. But I think, when she comes back into her own company, she will be winning at some point this campaign.
Let's pick up a couple of trialists out of Foxton. Shameless Star will run in the first on the program Saturday. Now, Peter didn't think there was a lot between this horse and War Princess, and he said to me one day that I think Shameless Star will end up being the better horse. That said, it has trolled up like this before and let us down. But pretty soft and a nice horse.
It's the same thing, isn't it? It's a Sweens picking one from the trials that's racing this weekend.
Maybe that's his best bets for the week as well. I don't know.
Hold on, he's got another one.
Hey,
another
you just
one.
follow them, write them down. We'll sort of compare our records at the end. Let's do that, eh?
Well, if I can get more,
Sparkle.
you're another trial winner horse as well, or what?
And this horse is going to Riccarton, where Aidan will be, for a listed race, fresh up. Nice horse. I think that might be the half to one of Aidan's old favourites in Kendall.
We know it's a teacher's pet,
Spark
don't we?
Going forward.
Like Sweens gets 2, like.
That's because he only got one last week, though, to be fair to him.
Hey, last week I had to fill in 10 minutes at the end of the show, so I thought we might as well have 2 trials and we might get to the hour mark.
Oh, right, it's all happening here on the form. Look, if you missed that with us all talking, here is a summary for you. Solid gold for Leith, Miss City for Aidan, but maybe not this week. Bevan, Shameless Star, but maybe not this week. And Spark as well. That is our trial files. We're going to take a break. Stick with us, though. There's plenty more action and a bit of banter coming up off this break. We head to Riccarton. Welcome back in. Our second domestic meeting on Saturday is down south at Riccarton. Aidan, of course, you always know what the weather and track's doing down there. What's happening?
Well, it seems like we've got a rain band coming across New Zealand sort of basically Friday. But the Southern Alps seem to protect Christchurch, but it seems to be like, obviously we've already got that heavy track, it's heavy 9, but Christchurch doesn't get the rain that much of New Zealand gets over the next couple of days. So this track might not get too much worse than this heavy 9. It will be testing. We've sort of seen that in recent meetings, but I think it'll play okay.
Okay, well, let's have a look at the first race we want to touch on. That's race number 8 on the program. Too Much at $3.50 is coming back from synthetic racing. Cork at $5, Stony Breck at $5.50. Look, she's got a big weight to carry, Sweens, but at the $3.50, look, that price looks okay with what she's done in the past.
Yeah, been going really, really well. Cork's sort of in and out, but has been very successful at Riccarton, as has Cognita. He's really interesting going back down there. And I was a bit blown away by Ayers back being at that sort of price. I think fresh up you'll get a run. What did you make of the speed map, lads?
Look, I thought Ayers back, obviously it comes in fresh this week. It hasn't had a trial under its belt. Probably the natural leader, I thought, in the race. Too Much will be right there on the speed. Opie's on Cork this week, so I think he'll be a key to her. He'll ride her sort of midfield, and Cognito always gets back anyway.
Yeah, the one horse I thought might have been right there was Riviera Rebel. I think they can be positive if they want. And if that horse can get sort of outside lead or even lead, then I thought Riviera Rebel was a horse who offered some real value in this race. I agree. I think they'll be positive with Stony Breck. Master Marco, I thought was maybe 3 back the fence.
Yeah, it's going to get a nice run from barrier 1.
For sure.
Okay, so Too Much mapped to be forward, and let's take you back to the last time she was at Riccarton, and this is in the Easter Stakes, of course, listed level, and runs a very nice second here off the speed swings.
Yeah, it was a good run. Obviously, she's been stabled at Riccarton for a little while now. Look, she gets into a race which she can win, especially at the weight, and big plus, Opie gets on her this week.
Yeah, absolutely. Too Much does go up that kilogram. Stony Breck down 1. But again, here's a horse who's only won 1 race on the turf, Stony Breck, and that was 2.5 years ago. So there's that concern about, poly specialists coming to the turf, just as we talked about with Constantina up north. And Too Much maybe a little bit the same as won 4 from 5 and only beaten a nose in the other poly race, so it was really a poly specialist, but does have a little bit more depth to the form on the turf, but then there's a weight swing. So, yeah, it's a quandary, this race, I tell you.
Okay, Pip, just remind Leith, I'm Sweens and he's lethal.
I didn't want to throw him out until the break, but yes, I don't know if he can hear me.
Hey, this also is going great, but I think, again, if we're going to highlight Constantino, it's no chance. Too Much has a decent sort of record of Riccarton, but having come off the synthetic, there's a slight concern, and 60 kilos is never easy, but I'll never knock the training abilities of the Parsons. They've got this 6-year-old flying at present moment. So, yeah, I wouldn't count it out. I think it's getting to that sort of level where weight might just start stopping a train, but such a good campaign.
It really is, and there's another runner that likes to go forward as well, and that's Ayers Back. We'll take you to the performance the last time at the River City. A lot of money this day, but the track suited them.
Look, and this was a stronger field, I'd say, as well. It was a very good ride. Obviously, the track was on fire on the inside there. Marina, look, it's interesting she comes into this fresh. But the Blackadders, they're good trainers, and obviously they'll have a pretty fit. But she managed to get a nice run from in front.
Yeah, absolutely. But this was a travelator on the inside that day. So you've got to just take that into account. Black had a stable fire, and I think they had 2 winners the other day. And then you've got to really be thinking about Cork, because that horse ran really well last time out as well. So there's a few chances here, Bevan. I'm interested to get your take on Ayers Back.
Oh, I love Ayers Back. When you look at that race, second Bilardo Boyd Bradman was in the mix, and Shanti Lace ran 4th. So, hey, the form's stacking up pretty well. I know that there was a travelator towards the inside, but the 3 kilos off down to the 55. This horse was nominated, and Aidan will know this much better than me. Ayers Back was actually nominated earlier in the month at Riccarton and wasn't started on that occasion. So they've taken their time. Jack Taplin, quite talented young fella. I think she leads up, and she might have them off the bit a long way from home.
It was just about the wet track that day. I spoke to John Blackadder, who said just not quite ready to be taking a really wet track, and they didn't really want to risk it that way. I've ended up with Too Much. I just love this horse, love what the horse has been doing. The horse I thought was a big danger here at the right price was Riviera Rebel. I love the fact we're getting Kylie Williams back on a horse, and she will just dictate to Riviera Rebel, who is a Group 3 winner on this track already. So I was the one Too Much, but real respect around Riviera Rebel.
Yeah, I'm with too much as well. Look, it's had 25 starts, 8 wins, poly track, and got to remember the last time it raced was on a listed race where it ran second on that track as well. So got the right form. Yogesh, 60 kilos, having his first ride, but looks like an easy horse to ride.
Okay, that's what the guys are liking in the 8th. Now let's move to race number 4, the open sprint over the 1,000 metres here, where Perfect Scenario comes back in fresh at $3.80, La Ballanera at $3.90, and you've got Third Decree at $4.80 and Candle at $5.50. So look, there's a couple at a nice price, including Candle, who is shooting for a hat trick. She probably won't want to leave it to the last little point here, is dropping back 200 metres, but she's racing well.
Oh, look, it's been 2 good rides. Obviously, she was an ex-Northern horse. Sky Larry had her in. She's going for 3 in a row. Look, she still gets in with 54 kilos. Barrier 7's a big plus, and look, the 1,000 metres is going to suit her as well.
Yeah, Express Cope was pretty good in running second here. There's not much between them on the line, and there is a kilogram
Express
swing.
Cope got exposed a long way up.
Exactly, and this is the way that Kendall seems to be firing down there. Just left for the last minute, then with a big late run. So can't be knocking either of these two. I thought they were both key contenders in the race.
Dear old Kendall, cost me a fortune, Kendall, over time, and a little bit like Tess Win actually on Sunday at Taupo. I've tipped forever and then missed fresh up. Oh yeah, it was brilliant. So I haven't backed Kendall, haven't backed Tess Win, but certainly the horse has found another sort of spate of form down there. Interesting that the horse is handling wet track conditions, which is something that hasn't done historically. Here's Third Decree last year. This is a really sharp horse for the Pitmans. Drawn 1, Sam Weatherly is aboard. I was really impressed with this horse. I know probably 1,000 metres isn't perfect for Third Decree lads, but look, there's a lot of ability here and it's above average. Good record at the course. Should go close again in my mind.
Look, she's got fresh legs. She's coming in fresh. She hasn't had a trial under her belt. Good to see Sam Weatherly back, 58 kilos, barrier 1. It's going to get a nice trip in transit, and if their track improves, could be rough sort of top 3 chance.
She's got real ability and good speed as well. Third Decree, I agree, Weatherly on as a plus as well. So, yeah, a factor in the race for sure.
I'll go with Third Degree. I think well capable. I didn't have a lot between the top 5 or 6 in this race, so more of a throw at his stumps than sort of a really strong thought around the form that sits around this race. But Third Decree for me.
Look, I'm going to go for Express Coupe. I think Kylie Williams, she's counting down to that 1,000. Michael Pittman, the Pittman stable, helping her out, and they'll have this horse pretty, I reckon she's very close to winning.
You have to wonder if she had the choice too between
Yeah, I'd
them.
say she would have had the choice, Pip. From barrier 5, 54 kilos, I think she can win the race.
Yeah, I'm going to go a little bit outside the square. I'm going to the top to a horse who just does it day in, day out, year in, year out. He's an 8-year-old who's resuming, which isn't ideal, but he's had 6 starts fresh in the past and won 4 of them. He's got the claim of Jack Taplin down to 59.5. His trial win at Ashburton was superb. So
And he loves Riccarton.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
So-
he's a bit of value.
Perfect.
There you go. Everyone split again in that race. As we now take you to the 3-year-old. This is race number 3 on the program. We see a Cool as a Wren at $1.95, Miss Ziggy at $3.30, that trial watch there, and Beldemond at $3.30. And no surprise, Sweens, to see these 3 dominating the market.
No, and Cool as a Rain at $2.15 I thought was value. $1.95 is getting squeaky. Beldemond, the other Tiakio runner, was the only one I saw a danger, but all things being equal, Cool as a Rain looks pretty tough to beat here, boys.
Look, I thought the key to the race is Opie Blossom. He's gone down to ride the horse. He's got the perfect draw on barrier 3. He can dictate, he can lead, he can sit in the trail. Miss Ziggy has tried up super, hasn't she? Look, she's another one who's a maidener, but she's dual winning turn. She's going to get a nice run. I thought Bella Demonde from Vinny from Gate 1 gets a nice run just in behind them.
Yeah, it's an interesting map. I found it a pretty messy one, but you'll get a guide from all the trials at Ashburton. If you're wanting to bet into this race, make sure you go back and have a look at the trials from Ashburton.
Well, speaking of one of those trials, let's have a look at Cool as a Wren. Obviously had a very good 2-year-old season, and Sweens looked very forward here.
Yeah, absolutely clipping along. Look, they haven't sort of decided to bring this horse back up north, which is sometimes an indicator, but I think massively competitive. I think there's 2 major players against. I was happy at the $2.15. I'm not sure which way the market goes. It might even shorten up further than that, lads, but the horse will be right in the right spot and has a great record here.
Look, she's got to carry the 57 kilos, and hopefully the OB Bossum tax is sort of a little bit adjusted there. I thought, you know, the 57's a little bit of a question mark. $1.95 is just a bit short for me, though.
The one thing that's different about this trial compared to the other trials that you'll see through the day was that this was an open heat. You know, she's not in age group company, not in maiden company. That was an open heat. She's won 4 of 5. She goes well fresh. She's got very few sort of, you know, negative points to her. So, yeah, I was with her.
Okay, well, let's see what Sam Burgesson had to say about her and, of course, his other runner in the race.
Yeah, Coola's Ring seems to be coming up well. Obviously, she's, you know, fashioning a pretty impressive record there. Trialled nicely there at Ashburton. Looks like a nice race to kick off, and then hopefully on to the Canterbury Bell. And same with Beldamont. She trialled up here, then trialled down at Ashburton. You know, a really talented filly. We think still does a little bit wrong. But yeah, obviously, you know, has run in the Crack a Million, so we do think quite a bit of her, and hopefully, you know, she can go out there and show it on Saturday, and again, like Coola's Ring, can build into a Canterbury Bell. Okay, so that's what Sam was thinking, and I mean, that's really good information there.
It is, and look, Bella Demond, we're going to see the replay in a minute. She got knocked over in the Crack a Millions. Like, she was well beaten, but she was going to be a lot closer, so I think the market's got it wrong, I reckon.
Okay, wow, that's interesting. Because we did speak about the trial of Miss Ziggy, and obviously you're talking Karaka Million as a lead-up. You know, her run the Karaka Million was really good last year in finishing third, and her trial was terrific as well. But she's coming in against a pretty formidable field this first up. So whether it's today or not, it's going to be some point this campaign for her.
Oh, absolutely. Miss Ziggy will be winning a race, but I think Andrew might have a long-term sort of mindset around Miss Ziggy, whereas I think Coola's Arena will be ready to rock and roll on Saturday lead-up. Be very, very difficult to beat under Opie Boston, who's gone down there. That's probably something you can watch throughout the season when he makes moves to go south around certain horses. So I thought Coola's Arena was the one, with the big watch Miss Ziggy going forward.
Yeah, I've got a lot of respect for Miss Ziggy. I thought Bella Demond, if Opie was on the source, it would be nearly $2 favourite.
Okay.
No, doesn't lose anything with Vinnie Colgan on 54.5. Top weight's got to get 2.5 kilos. I think the market's a little bit wrong here.
Yeah, it's interesting because the trial was very good as well, and this
Both two trials have been very good.
And last preparation ran second to Stormfront and second to Ramala, and they were as good as 2-year-olds as we saw, you know, like among the top echelon anyhow. So I was with Cool Lazarin because she's a winner. She's just a horse who goes win, 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 and she just puts them together. So
Miss Ziggy's trial wasn't as good as you thought?
Miss Ziggy's trial was terrific. That was for further down the track.
Oh, okay.
Okay, yeah, see, further. Just got to wait for that one.
Like, he said, don't show that, it wasn't as good. He won't show that in retrospect. No, Miss Ziggy.
Okay, all right, that does.
If Miss Ziggy wins, however.
Well, you can't just edge your bets a little bit, eh? That's good, yeah.
It's Kevin Myers. Kevin Myers is on the show.
Right, we're going to leave that there. That completes Riccarton, and we're going to take you to our bank builders. And Leith, you were so close last week in the first race. What have you found this time?
Look, I'm going to try again, Pip. I'm going to go exacta again the first race on Friday. Look, Opie's horse, Brazen Affair. I thought if there's going to be an outsider, Proud Capitalist down the bottom. Michael's on 54, barrier 7. I thought if you just box those two up, you're getting sort of $5.40 if Brazen Affair wins. Proud Capitalist are in second. If you box them around, it's worth $14.50.
Okay,
good value.
Yeah, I sent through I think bank builders for every meeting, but I think we're going with my Friday one, and I just thought that Opie Boston had such an outstanding book of rides. I don't know what he's going to open at, and maybe it's too short, but I think if you're getting 185, 190, then you know that looks like a really good bet for him in the Jockeys Challenge.
I'm going to go a race multi around the first two on the program at Wanganui. Ruby Rosa. Ran third at Riccarton, but I don't think the horse travelled very well down there. It is very, very smart. So expecting it to run well on Saturday. I put that in sort of top 3. And Night Owl was a racetracker from a couple of weeks ago off its debut performance. So I think that's in the right race in race number 2. I'd be quite happy to go win-win as well, to be honest with you. I think the big winning chances, but I think there's some nice horses in those first couple of races at the River City.
Okay, I like that. Here is a summary for you, because I know, Sweens, you definitely got your bank builder in last week, so make sure you follow these in. Got Leith with the Bocked Exacta 3 and 7, Aiden's with Opie Bosson. Fingers crossed he's paying a little bit in that Jockey's Challenge. He'll just build you into
Those
Saturday.
numbers are 1 and 7. They made a mistake.
There we go, 1 and 7.
Right.
Sorry,
yeah.
apologies there. And we'll change that. And then, of course, Sweens. Right, from there, we're going to take you now to Te Aroha. We do have plenty to look forward to on Sunday, including the Pakuranga Hunt Cup and the hurdle. Who wants to take charge on the weather and track?
Well, it looks a little bit misty there, right? It looks like there could be sort of rain and those clouds coming. But look, they've had 31 mils over the last 7 days. Obviously, the rail's out 6 and 7 metres. It doesn't matter this time of the year at that track, especially with the jumps meeting on. But it does look like there's going to be no improvement in that track.
You know that's not taken live. It's not live pictures.
Oh, it looks like a beautiful day there today, then anyway.
No doubt it will be.
Okay, let's take you to the feature. It is race number 4 on the program, the Pakuranga Hunt Cup, and you can see here 48 hits the betting at $3.20 from Leitrim Lad at $5, Run Jacko Run, Obrigado at $7.50, and your Grand National winner there at $11. Any value in this market, lads?
Look, it's a pretty even field. Look, a lot of these horses are just having a little bit of a look around Tiara as well for the big race in a couple of weeks' time. But I thought Ned Wynn was really good down South Pip. I thought he was good value at sort of that $11 price.
There's some nice horses in those double-figure prices, boy.
Let's have a look here at the Grand National. This is Captain's Run, who obviously does win the race. He beats home the likes of Ned Wynn, as you mentioned, Leith and Te Kahu, but he does get penalised for a big weight this time.
He has got a big rate. It was a very good ride. It would have been interesting when Sean Fanning got back to the jockey's room. I don't think he would have been happy with that jockey taking him on the whole race.
I can tell you that that's exactly... There's a fierce spray coming from Sean
well, you know,
afterwards.
it's never easy getting taken on, let alone in a jumping race on a heavy 20 track. So, look, I think he had his right to sort of praise his opinion.
Yeah, absolutely. He did a really good run, though, from Captain's Run. He just seems to be getting better and better. Te Kahu wasn't too bad, and obviously a horse who, you know, while this is a prep run for the great New Zealand steeples, these horses will want to be, you know, bringing their best for this. They'll want to be there. And it's hard for them, you know, those good horses not to be competitive in this race for mine. I think the cream will rise to the top here, Swens.
Oh, I just think it's an outstanding race for this point in the season, and we're still, what are we, a couple of weeks away, 3 weeks away from the big dance at Te Aroha. So I'm just rapt to see all these horses in. Look, I've been a bit of a fan of Leitrim Lad for a period of time. I spoke to Emily Farr on Saturday. She was really looking forward to riding this horse. So I might just swim a fraction against the tide, although the market has Leitrim Lad right in the mix. Leitrim Lad for me, for Eamon Grant. I think big chance on Sunday.
I'm going to go Ned Wynn. Look, he's down in the handicap at 66 on the chase fences. Ned Wynn's an interesting runner. He could run the Friday and the Sunday, maybe the hurdles in. He's probably the only horse that probably can.
Well, that's the idea about opening up, isn't it? And so wouldn't it be great to see it like the old
like
Queen's
the old
birthday weekend? Yeah, exactly. So for mine, I've gone to the champ up the top, the Cossack. He's won 6 of 11. He's unbeaten in 3 at Te Aroha. I think he'll be ready. I think his price is crazy for a horse of his ability, and I think he'll be competitive here.
Yeah, maybe a 1/3 play as we take you to race number 2. This is the hurdle. And again, it's a really good field when you've got Suleiman, who won the Grand National Hurdle. Happy Star in this market too. Not favourite though, that's Hill of Kings at $3.30 from Billy Boy at $5.50. So again, a really nice betting market as we take you back to the Grand National Hurdles. Suleiman was good here. Happy Star though, Leith led for a long way, so the drop back and trip should suit.
Yeah, Happy Star. He was left a little bit of a sitting duck, wasn't he? It was a very good ride by Hamish McNeil here for his stick away a little bit late and held on to win by just a small margin. So, look, they all jumped super as well. So, look, they'll be spot on for this race. It's a strong sort of addition though, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Suleiman goes up 3.5 kilograms. Happy Star up 3. Lord Spencer up 1.5. He was well below his best, but when he was winning here 4 starts back, that was just a phenomenal win. Came from a position where he couldn't win on the bend to pick them up and do it. And he is he's a reigning champ in the Great Northern. So this is a really good hurdle field, but Suleiman's going the right way for mine.
Did you have to show quid again, you lads, in the studio, just to break my heart one more time? Has Hill of Kings been really, really good on the... What's Billy Boyd done wrong not to be favoured in this race? Oh my goodness, I couldn't believe it when I saw those prices. I know Leith will be tipping Hill of Kings, and the run last out was very, very good. But in amongst the big jumping boys this Saturday, I'm going to go with Happy Star, who I think was ridden only okay in the big dance. I thought they went too hard in front on Happy Star, and if they'd just given him a bit of a breather, he would have been very close to winning it. So I'll go with Happy Star, but I think it's a very even race, and there might be some prices deeper in the field for people at home.
Yeah, a little bit sort of Hella Kings is pretty short, but he didn't jump very well. I think second up over the jumps this week, he'll be spot on, 66 kilos. Sean Phelan, good trainer.
Yeah, absolutely. And what a hell of a jumps jockey he was as well. I agree with what Bevan's saying around Billy Boyd. He's unbeaten in 3 hurdles. He's been terrific at Te Aroha both times as well.
Loves the heavy track too.
Yeah, I just love what I saw from Suleiman last time out. I think he's going the right way. So new rider, I think he'd still be okay.
Okay, what I'm hearing is there's some good betting markets on Sunday. Make sure you tune in to the Sunday session as we take you to a break here on The Form. Our best bets coming up off the other side.
I've only got the one unladen, Quantum Legend. I think he's been well found at the trials. Obviously a talented 3-year-old debuting on Saturday.
Quantum Legend has the lead at the 100 metres from Magic Carpet. Cause on Park, late run Mazette. The money right on the lolly in the first. Quantum Legend too good.
To the first at our pony on Sunday, the horse called Toronto, sharp horse for the Greys. He won't be long in the market, be very short, but he'll be winning on Sunday.
The first is all over, and Toronto's a mile in front with 100 to go. And a cool, calm, collected Bruto's going to sit up nice and early for the Fondo. He has dead set trotted it.
Autumn Glow Pip, race 7, Ramwick, $1.95 will be winning.
Now Autumn Glow, she's starting to open up the shoulders, and here she comes. Autumn Glow went on past Gangster Granny, and Autumn Glow remains unbeaten, 5 out of 5.
I'll round us out with 10 Foot Tall. I'm certainly not, but the horse is going well in race at number 8, the last, so I hope it can get you home.
Sweet But Psycho's coming into it with 10 Foot Tall and Fabulous Cow. 10 Foot Tall, Fabulous Cow, Sweet But Psycho, 10 Foot Tall. 10 Foot Tall won the last.
Yeah, not a bad week last time, and thanks to Tony Pike, I think plenty of punters had a fill up there with Quantum Legend.
Yeah, he was good. Obviously, he was $2.50 into $2, but look, good punting, good by all.
Yeah, I think it was.
Not me.
Autumn Glow was all right.
Jeez, I need to start getting on the board, otherwise I'll be like Thad Taylor on the leg up.
Oh, shots fired, poor old Thad. We'll hopefully have yours soon, Aidan, but first up, let's have a look what the trainers are liking again this week.
I hope Aidan, Cheap Sav, has another turn and on Friday, so fingers crossed Ashley can get her up.
We've got a couple in on Friday, but our best will be Top Dollar.
Yeah, Rocky Master Yarno at Cambridge on Friday.
Yeah, I'll stick with Mr. Mina. He came through for me last time, so yeah.
I like one on Friday on the Cambridge Synthetic, Golden. Opie Boston's riding it in the staying 2,000 metre race.
Oh, put me on the spot, eh? We've got 3, I think, at Cambridge on Friday. Boxmoss won pretty well, and now he's starting to get the ropes sorted as far as settling and finding the line, and yeah, I think he's probably my best for the weekend.
Yeah, I've only tried once, ran 3rd, so and it's the same horse actually, so we'll go to Wanganui. We're hoping Feel the Stag can go a couple better and win.
Yeah, tough one, Aidan. Couple of tricky races, but I'm going to go with Mary Shan.
I'm hoping Cooler Zareen can sort of kick off, albeit the stablemate I think can give her a really good shake. But yeah, really excited to see her back at the races.
Got 3 in the maiden chase, probably hard to separate Timber and Justice, but they both should be good chances.
Honey Badger, we've elected to run in the 75, 11.50.
Presuming Te Aroha. Very unlucky last time.
Okay, so we've got plenty to follow this week. Any ones that you've picked out there you liking, Leith?
I'll be on Honey Badger, especially if that rain turns up at Te Aroha. She's a swimmer. Yeah, it'd be interesting if Tony Pike goes to the races on Sunday or not as well.
Well, he's 2 from 2. He's a chance to go 3 from 3 with these tips. So yeah, we appreciate it.
You'll give him a couple
yeah,
of
well,
copies,
we have been talking about it. If there is a sponsor out there who wants to sponsor the segment, there we go.
Okay, hopefully we can get Tony a coffee at least as we take you to our best bets for the weekend. Leith, you did get home with Autumn Glow. Who have you found this time?
Yeah, she's a little bit short, Pip. This horse here, Vinrock, he's a beautiful 3-year-old colt by I'm Invincible. Look, he won the size. He's fresh up this week. He's had 2 trials under his belt, and look, he opened at $3.60, and he's drifted out to $4.40 already. Look, he's an outstanding horse, this, and I think it's crazy money, the $4.40 for sure.
I've gone to top dollar at Cambridge, a horse who's knocking on the door, trialled up really well at the start of the preparation and has been racing really well. I think the step to 15.50 on a good surface is ideal. So I've gone top dollar. Colin Murray giving us that as his trainer's tip. So hopefully he's bang on too.
Mine's price driven because I think this is craziness. Just Charlie is at $17 after being unlucky in the Opuniki Cup. He gets up to the 1,600 metres. He's flying. Couldn't believe it. Should be $17. Write it down.
And I'm going for Presuming, who Pam Gerard also made her best bet of the weekend. He was really unlucky last time. He had the best closing sectionals. With that rain around, I think he can take out the 8th there for Pam Gerard. So Presuming at Te Aroha. Let's have a look at a quick summary for you if you want to note these ones down and make sure you follow them. Fingers crossed we're back here next week with a clean sweep. The Wales with Midnight Diamond at Ashburton on Sunday. Top dollar for Aidan, Just Charlie for Bevan, Vinrock for Leith, and I'm with Presuming, and that completes the form. Thanks, team. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you.
It'd be nice to get some of Sweens' money out of Just Charlie. That's a great tip.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go and follow you there, Sweens. As always, a pleasure to have you on, and enjoy the River City.
Yeah, looking forward to it. Hunter, you'll be there. And shots fired from Aidan Rodley. It's begun. It has begun. Let's see what Thag comes back with in reply.
Yeah, let's certainly do that. Make sure you're tuning in here next week. We'll catch you back on the form.